Erica, this is like a personal call for you. I don't know where everybody's at. No, you didn't. Can you hear me? I hope she can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Let's see you. I mean, you might be the only one on this call, which I feel weird. Well, I mean, I love it.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not noon yet. There's probably still some coming.
yeah, that is right. We're going to start at 12:05. How are you, Erica?
Good, really busy. Kids just finally went back to school. We had a delay because a remodel project, so this is our first week back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're remodeling my son's school as well. They ripped out the whole practice facility locker rooms. And so, like, these kids have to, like, hike through all this construction, which,
Yeah, ours was a total remodel for 2 years.
oh my God, I hope it's not 2 years. But
Ours was, but it's nice.
they did put in a brand new, hi, Gloria.
Hello.
They did just put in a brand new, what is it, turf? I don't know if you guys
Ooh.
have turf at their, and it was like 1.2 million. I'm talking about my school, Gloria, before we get started. We're going to get started at 12:05. But they put in this brand new turf, and yeah, I mean it's nice. Was it needed? Probably not. But whatever. I guess
Yeah,
our taxpaying
school's too
dollars are going
little.
to a brand new football field. Go. uh, man, I tell you. Hi, Gloria. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I haven't seen your beautiful face in a long time. I love these.
I
I don't
missed it last month.
attend these. So I'm actually going to run this as like a kickoff meeting. This is going to be an excellent refresher course for you, Laura. But Erica, this is going to be some new stuff for you as well. The reason I'm doing this is there's so many amazing things that have happened in the app. And I really want to go over a lot of the stuff like Gloria can contest to this. Like we unleashed like a ton of new things and people are like, what just happened? So we're gonna kind of go, I'm gonna run this as more of like a get started kickoff meeting, which is really great because again, it will be housed in the back end of my website. Everybody will have access to it. So at any point, like if you ladies or gentlemen that join, you guys can always go back and revisit this and be like, oh, that's how I access that, or that's how I do that. So I'm really excited about today's meeting because I actually did a 180 on what I wanted to teach. Yes, we're going to still go over habits, but we're going to run this more of a kickoff style, which I'm really excited about. So, Gloria, it looks like you're in the car, but if you, Erica, if you have pen and paper, I'm hoping more join us as we get started. We'll wait a couple more minutes before I officially dive into it. I'm just going to run this. I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm just going to kind of go through my bullet points and housekeeping. Again, some of this might be a little bit redundant for past legacy members. But for future legacy members, this is going to be very eye-opening and very informative. So as I go through this, if you guys, ladies, have any questions or anything, there is a comment in the comment chat box where you can leave me a comment and then I can address it at the end and go into more detail because I'm going to go over a ton of information on this call. But we'll wait a couple more minutes before we officially get started. How are you doing, Gloria? We already picked on Erica here, but how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's
Hair
hair today, so it will be even better.
day. I love hair days. My hair is like, my son the other day made a comment on my grays. He's like, Mom, so many grays. I was like, oh my goodness, don't go there. Hey, David. Oh, he's turning on his camera.
There we go.
Are you on your new iPad?
Yeah, I'm on my iPad. Yeah.
All right.
When it decides to cooperate.
Test it out and see if it's working. Well, I just updated Erica and Gloria fast, and people are jumping in as we get started here. We're going to get started here in about 3 more minutes. But the biggest thing on this meeting is for past legacy members. Again, this is going to be a little bit redundant for you guys. I'm going to go over a lot of, here, I'm going to mute you real fast, Dave. Can you mute him? I don't know how to do this. But I'm going to go over a lot of housekeeping things and also the new benefits in the app. So today's meeting is going to be more like a kickoff meeting, which is going to be an excellent refresher course for your past legacy members. I really wanted to do this one today just because of the fact that it's going to be housed in the back end of our website on past pod calls. So if you guys ever miss a monthly call with me or a guest, I might start bringing guests on here in 2025. You can access the media library, and these are always available. So on this call today, I really want to focus on more of the legacy membership and kicking off and going over the benefits and how to access the benefits in the app, because there's a lot of new things that we've unrolled this last couple months that you past legacy members are still trying to figure out and be like, whoa, this is a huge new change. But you future legacy members or legacy members that are just joining us, there's a lot of things that are available and you have access to. And so I want to make sure that you're getting to the right areas to access all this information. So I'm going to run this more of like a kickoff meeting, I want to call it. And again, like I said, you past legacy members, this is going to be mainly a refresher course, which is great because sometimes we need to hear information more than once for it to truly sink in. So I'm really excited about this meeting today. You know, the biggest thing is as we get started here, we're all part of a community and we're all part of an community to build each other up. And so I'm gonna cover some important housekeeping items to ensure that you guys get the most out of your membership, especially as we get started. And I want everybody that comes and joins Legacy to get started strong, even you past Legacy members. As you know, a fitness journey, it has its up and downs. It's not a straight course. It's not 1 minute we're smooth sailing, we're diving in, next minute life happens and it throws a complete 180. Like this last week, if you guys can't tell, I'm battling a massive head cold. And so for me, my body definitely needed a lot of rest last week. And so I really focused on hydration and I really focused on as much as I could eat because I did lose my appetite quite a bit last week. And so for me, this week is all about back to the basics. You know, and we all can have that refresher when it comes to back of the basics and being like, okay, now is the time to plug in. Now to kind of go refresh myself back into that habits that I've created for myself. You know, and so I'm definitely going to cover habits in this as well. And so I want to first and foremost start this call with setting up for success. So as you guys know in the FarmFit training app, and I'm going to pull mine up so you guys can see this too. As you guys log in to the FarmFit training app, you'll see this as your home screen, okay? At the top is your macros. Now, it depends on the different type, what legacy level you're in. Now, Legacy Silver, we do not customize your macros. You can go through an amazing tool that is just now available, which, by the way, you guys are the first to know about it. We actually have a macro calculator that's located on the website, and it does give you an estimated macros. This is not done by a professional coach. Now, these estimated macros are still ideal. We put in my formula, we've tweaked it, and that's available for Legacy Silver. So if you're a Legacy Silver member, I highly recommend you guys going through my Legacy macro calculator on my website. And then if you want your macros in the app, all you have to do is shoot over to support your macros that you get from that, and then we'll be able to enter them into the app. So that way you can start calculating your nutrition and being able to target your meals into your goal macro percentages and also your goal macros. Now, Legacy Gold and Platinum, you guys are a little bit different. You guys do get customized macros with us. And so those customized macros do come out within 72 hours after you purchase. and we will automatically upload them into the app. Now, Legacy Platinum, you guys get unlimited amount of times when we adjust your macros. As you guys know, macros change and go depending on your season and what you got going on. Like, for example, we have a gal that's in Legacy Platinum that is expecting a baby here in the next couple of weeks, and then she'll go into breastfeeding macros. It's just an example. Or maybe you lost a ton of weight and you need your macros readjusted. You know, you should look at your macros. First and foremost, there's a couple key things to know when you need an adjustment. So the first key is you're hungry. That is a tell sign of, hey, I need to get my macros adjusted because I need more fuel. Our body is this amazing mechanism that we need to make sure that we're fueling it properly. And so if your macros go up, don't be scared. That just means that your metabolism's revving up in this process and you just need more nutrients and more fuel. And then another tell sign is if it's too much food. If you feel overstuffed and you have a hard time hitting your macros, that might be that we went a little too high and that we need to scale it back more into a deficiency. So there's a couple of those tell signs that, hey, you need to reach out to us. And again, this is for Legacy Gold and Platinum. You guys have the opportunity for your macros to get customized by us coaches. All you have to do is send an email to support@farmfitmama.com, and then we'll take a look and adjust your macros. And as always, guys, we're going to explain exactly how we adjust your macros. You know, education is super important here. I want you guys to fully understand if your macros go up, what I did. I'm going to go into detail. I'll send you a message within the app. Now, as Legacy members, we'll message you. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us in the group chat. So there is a master group chat. And again, Legacy Gold and Platinum, you guys have access to it. That is a great place to ask us questions. Maybe you have supplement questions, like if you have any, if you want to try creatine. You know, I see that craze going on the internet right now. Yes, I personally do take creatine. But if you're interested in it and you want to ask questions like that, or protein, or if you're looking at reds and greens, you know, to fill in your nutritional gaps, which we all have. So there's tons of stuff that you can ask us questions in the master group chat, where all three of us coaches will pipe in and give you education. And again, we'll always explain what we're doing. Also, everybody should have got the Get Started ebook, and it doesn't matter what legacy level you are. That ebook has tons of information about the app. The biggest thing that I want you guys to understand is if you scroll right down here, or not scroll, excuse me, if you tap these three dots in the bottom right-hand corner, make sure I do this, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a watch Get Started video right in the app. If you have any questions about how to get started, I highly recommend all of you watching that. Again, there's different perks for different levels when it's available, but that how to get started video will definitely give you a basis on where to find your workouts, where to ask questions. If you have technical questions, obviously you're going to want to reach out to us at support@farmfitmama.com, and then we'll get you in. We'll give you directions on how to contact the technical team to be able to help with the app. You know, there's tons and tons of resources, and I highly recommend you past Legacy members to watch that, just as a refresher, because again, we all need refreshers on how to utilize this app, because this app is very complicated. There's a lot of amazing benefits that I'm turning on all the time and making available as well. And then also, with that being said, I'm going to go over watch. So if you have a smartwatch, I highly recommend connecting it to the app. And the app will take you from a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, or if you have a Garmin, you can connect any of those smartwatch devices to the app. Now, the reason for this is when you hit start on your workout, it automatically starts on the app. And so to be able to do that, I'm going to go back to the home screen. You're going to click these three buttons again in the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll see where you can connect your smartwatch. Okay? Make sure you guys do that. Make sure you connect your smartwatch to the app. You're going to want to be able to calculate or keep track of your heart rate, because there is going to be a call later on down the road on these monthly calls where I'm going to go over something called progressive overload. It is a very detailed call. I did cover this in one-on-one coaching way back then. For past legacy members, that will definitely be a refresher course for you. But progressive overload is super important, because that's how we build these lean, sexy muscles. Ladies, that's how you get smaller, tighter, more tone definition. Guys, that's how you get bigger. Your body, your chemistry and your body makeup is a lot different between if you're male or female. And so we want to make sure that we're paying attention to progressive overload, and your heart rate pays more attention. Our heart rate is super important as that as well. Is we want to be able to calculate. Now, if you have an Apple Watch, it will automatically pull your stats and upload it in the app. Fitbit, Fitbit and Garmin, there's a little step that you have to take. And what you guys have to do is, after your workouts, in the comment section on your workout, make sure you put your max and average heart rate on your workout, because you never know, Coach Tracy, Coach Jamie, or I will be popping into your profile randomly and leaving you guys little love notes or giving you little tips and tricks. We see everything that goes on in the app, and I want to make sure that we're, if we pop into your workout, I can see the full picture of what you're lifting, and that's another thing. Make sure you guys are filling out your workout on hit days. For example, I did one today. As soon as I hit start, I wasn't able to fill in my information. Like, it just automatically goes into the workout. So if you see if it's an interval type or a timed type workout, make sure you have a pen and paper available so you can write the number of reps you did, the volume. We want to make sure we keep track of that. And then the weight you used, and what that also does is, in the app, it has the ability to keep track of your progressive overload for you. So when you go into a workout, it'll tell you on that movement, hey, before you used 40 pounds or you used 20 pounds on your previous workout. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try to lift more heavier weight and see how many I do. Maybe you do it the 6 to 8 range, or whatever the reps. So you want to make sure you're filling out your workouts completely, because that does help you as a client be able to keep track of that. Excuse me. And then it also helps us when we pop into your profile and give you some, advice or tips or tricks, that we're able to be like, hey, we noticed you lift this time. I'm going to challenge you, based off your heart rate. I'm going to challenge you to go heavier. And again, I have a whole Farmcast podcast that I'm going to go over progressive overload into more detail and explain the science behind that. So don't worry, that's coming up. Also with your workouts, this is a new change, for past legacy members. The workouts used to drop every Sunday. Well, now they actually drop every Monday. And so when they drop on Monday, make sure you plan them, schedule them in your calendar. And how you do that is, again, you go to your home screen, and the second tab is the calendar button, where you can schedule your workouts. You can also do it from a desktop. If you choose to do it from a desktop, message support and we'll walk you through those steps on how to do it from a desktop. It's super easy. I actually like to schedule my workouts on my desktop, but you can do it through the app as well. And the reason why you schedule your workouts is, first and foremost, we're talking about habits here. You have to get in the habit of scheduling your workouts and holding yourself accountable. And so when you schedule them in your calendar, there's 5 workouts a week, and make sure you put them in order. Every week when they drop, if you want to see the order, click that little what is it? It looks like a kettlebell thing. That kettlebell thing will tell you the order your workouts need to be in. Okay, if you ever have questions on that, they're in order. And again, there's movement videos. There's also a description on every single workout. But make sure you put your workouts in order based on the recommendation I give you every single week. And there's a reason for that. First and foremost, to be able to build that lean, sexy muscle, you can't do 2 upper body days back to back. We need to give your muscles time to recover. And secondly, there's methodology, or as a madness to my methods. And so I want to make sure that you guys are scheduling your workouts like, hey, Monday is, for example, I'm on week 13. Monday is upper body and abs, and then I'm going to lower body, you know? So there's a reason. So make sure you schedule them in your calendar based on the schedule that I give you. And it doesn't matter when you do it. You have 2 rest days every single week. You know, so think about that. Like if your Wednesday is jam-packed and you got a ton of stuff going on, maybe your kids are in church group or something after school, or maybe you have a sporting events, you know, maybe not scheduling a workout that day and taking that as your rest day. You know, I like to work out Monday through Friday because I like to take my weekends off where I can really, you know, focus on active recovery. So I like to play with the boys. Lately they're into trampoline, playing catch. You know, my son is actually in cross country, so he's always asking me about drills and stuff, you know. So however you want to choose to set your schedule is up to you. And that's the part of the flexibility of this program is like, I'm not going to tell you when to take your rest days. You get to decide as the client when you're going to take your rest days based on what your family has going on. And then also with that, if you do additional cardio, you know, this month's challenge, obviously we're focusing on steps, you know, for October. But if you do add additional cardio, please add that to the app. And again, a reason why is it keeps track for you and it keeps everything organized. We want to organize everything as possible. So if you're going to add extra category or extra cardio, excuse me, so this is a home screen, all you have to do is go to the calendar right here and you hit that blue plus symbol and you can add extra cardio right there. Okay, you can add that in yourself. So like if you're gonna go walking, if you're gonna go running, you know, make sure you add it in the app and keep track of that. So when you look back, you'd be like, okay, I did 2 to 3 cardio sessions this week, and this is what I did, you know, or however you want to do that. Like if you're running or doing cycling or, you know, going for a walk, you know, make sure you add it to the app because that's part of, we take that in account when we look at your macros. So for example, you legacy gold and platinum, we need to see that. Like, are you adding extra movement in where we need to make sure that we add that into your macro calculation and adjust it accordingly? You know, again, legacy silver, you know, you have that free macro calculator off my website that you can go through. So your macros are going to change the more movement you get, plain and simple. The more active you are, your macros will be different. So legacy gold and platinum, this is a reminder for you. Please make sure that you're adding in those extra cardio sessions because that does play into the component of your macros and how we adjust them as well. Workout logging. So again, don't forget to make sure you fill out your information and your workouts in the app. If it's a hit day, you know, an interval day where it's timed, there's already a built-in calculator or timer in the app. All you have to do is hit start. It'll start on your watch and it'll walk you through the whole movement. It includes your rest days or your rest time. You just need to make sure you have a pen and paper available to you to be able to keep track of that. And then another thing I want to go over is group chats. Now, it's different for each level. Every single one of you guys' group do have something called it's called FFT monthly community group calls. You guys all have this group, every single level. It doesn't matter if you're silver, gold, or platinum. You guys all have access to this group. Now, this group chat, make sure you turn, look, sorry, my dog's barking. Make sure you guys turn on, Luke, come here, Luke, come here, sit down, sit down. I was trying to keep him in here. Well, I'm just going to throw him out. 1 second. Hopefully he doesn't bark at me and want to come back in. All right, so the monthly community group chat, real fast, guys. Make sure you turn on the notification in this group. So how you do that is you click these 3 dots. You see this? These 3 dots right here. You click that, click, and down here, you click settings, and as soon as you click settings, it gives you the option to turn on notifications. Make sure it's set on all posts and activity. You're not going to want to miss anything in that group, okay? Make sure you do this for all your groups that you're a part of. So again, everybody is a part of this monthly community calls, make sure you guys turn on your notifications for that. Now, Legacy Gold and Platinum, you guys are part of the, it's called the the FFT Master Group Chat. You guys are going to have to do the same there. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications for that group. You're not going to want to miss anything. And again, this is where you guys communicate with us coaches. So if you're Legacy Gold or Platinum, you have the access, you have the capability to be able to communicate with us in the app, and this is your place. This is where you guys can communicate with us, ask us questions, you know. And the biggest thing with this group chat is, remember, everybody's going through different situations. If you're struggling, use that group chat, ask questions, you know. Maybe somebody else is struggling, you know, and that's where other members can pipe in and give you advice and tricks and help them overcome. You know, the biggest thing with these group chats is they're a way to connect with like-minded individuals to help you. You know, we all have stuff going on. We're all going through situations, you know. I posted in there the other day that I used Sunday as a meal prepping day. You know, ask me questions. Like if you see me post something about meal prepping, ask me how I'm meal prepping, you know, or ask another Legacy member how they're meal prepping, or, you know, ask questions. You know, this is where you can connect with a ton of like-minded individuals. You know, a fitness journey is, yes, a journey about ourselves, you know, and being that best version and the unstoppable source for ourselves, but it's a community as well. You know, and connecting with a group of community members that are scattered across the United States, Canada. I mean, we're international here. But, you know, you're connecting with people all over the place, and you're able to cheer each other on, share success, you know, share wins, ask questions. You know, if you're not understanding something, at the great place to ask questions. You know, Legacy Silver, your group chat is called the Blueprint Group. It's on Facebook. You know, again, also, I'm going to encourage Legacy Gold and Platinum, you know, post wins in that group. We actually switched that group up on Legacy Blueprint on Facebook, where you guys can post in that group. We wanted to bring more of a community aspect to part of that group. And so, you know, there's 4,000 members over there. You know, ask, you know, share wins, share stuff, talk about a workout, you know, share a sweaty photo. Like this morning, I actually had, what is it called? The Halo Angel is what I call them, where you have you're sweating so bad you have your butt print on the floor. You know, it says something like that. You know, share whatever. You know, share family stuff. So again, you know, if you're Legacy Silver, you can go over to the Blueprint group, but also Legacy Gold and Platinum, utilize that group as well. You know, if you want to connect with more people and more individuals, and you know, too, is like by sharing your success, you're going to motivate other people in the process. So don't be afraid to do that, you know. And also with you guys, and you know, the master, or that it does have access to this FFT master group chat. Again, you're going to motivate each other. We're all here to support each other and keep each other accountable and keep us going. And so don't be afraid to, you know, share the wins, or if you're struggling, you know, obviously you can, if it's a private manner and you're not comfortable sharing that publicly, you can always reach out to us at support@farmfitmama.com, and we can help you work through that. But I'm going to also encourage you, you know, sometimes when we feel like it's a private matter, like let's say we're struggling mentally, or we're struggling, you know, diving back in and getting into the basics, that can be more of a community aspect where we can help and support you. And that's something that you need to share in that master group chat. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because nobody's here. This is a judgment-free zone. And so next I want to go over is creating habits. And so this is where I'm going to talk about habit training. You know, when we're building new habits, especially when we're talking about keys of lifelong success, you know, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Plain and simple. It's gonna be uncomfortable in the beginning, and it's gonna be uncomfortable in the middle, and it's gonna be still uncomfortable. You know, here I am, a fitness coach, certified, and gosh, I have a shit ton of certifications. But you know, still, there's points where I get uncomfortable myself, and I'm like, geez, I'm kicking my own ass. You know, and that's the point. Is a fitness journey is a humbling journey, because there's always room for improvement. Even as coaches, we can first and foremost tell you guys this. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. And so, You know, if you are going into your workouts and you're really sore, you know, maybe make sure you're taking the time to properly warm up, you know, and the best way to warm up, guess what? Is to run through your workout without weights. Again, don't overcomplicate this. You know, it's one of the most important habits that you can develop right out the get-go is warming up and cooling down. You know, yes, I am working on something, hint, a little teaser there for you guys, that is coming out with some stretch ideals and cool down ideals that is coming. But in the meantime, you know, the best way to warm up, again, is to run through your workout without weights. You know, it primes your muscles for that movement. It helps increase the blood flow, prepares your body for that intensity that you're going to go in about 15 to 25 minutes. You know, and then also it's about creating that new habit that goes just beyond just warming up. You know, it's about building that consistency and that aspect to your fitness journey. And so then you're starting to plug in, you're like, okay, I'm going to warm up. I'm preparing my mind mentally to go through this. I'm preparing my body physically to go through this workout. So there's a lot more to just warming up. And, you know, and again, cooling down is taking that time to celebrate your body for what you just went through. Because movement is a celebration for what our bodies can do, not what they can't. So here's how to create strong, sustainable habits. I'm going to go over these. And again, don't worry, I'm going to post them. There's actually 8 of them. I'm going to fly through them because I want to make sure I go through everything on this Kickstart meeting. So first and foremost is start small. Start small. Okay, we don't want to overhaul our whole entire routine overnight. Okay, if you're just joining the legacy program, depending on the level, if you're in silver, gold, or platinum, yes, there's, depending on each level, there's different benefits that are available to you. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of stuff thrown at you right out the gate. Again, if you're a past legacy member, you're part of the grandfather group and you're still here with us, you guys can contest this as well, is, you know, focusing on those small achievable changes as you go, as you continue through this, as we continue to show up for ourselves. It's like that stepping ladder. We don't want to skip steps to try to get to the top because first and foremost, there's no top. There's no ceiling to this. Secondly, you want to take those steps and build those habits and form them and keep that consistency going. You know, the other day I shared something on Threads, which actually I got a lot of backlash, and I stand by it. You know, one of the things I talked about is how creating habits, it's not a 21-day thing. A lot of people still believe in that old methodology that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Well, I'm about to bust your ceiling. It doesn't. It actually takes 66 days to form a correct habit. 66. Think about that. So again, you know, as you're starting small and incorporating these new changes, as you're starting to dive into workouts, you know, again, be humbled enough to schedule those. As you're starting to dive into macros, you know, at first it's going to be a crapshoot. You're going to know what the heck, I just got these macros. How am I going to hit, for example, in my case, 140 grams of protein in a day? But again, diving in, remember the resources are available to you. We're going to educate you along the process. Watch these past pod calls, you know, dive in, ask questions, you know, get to know everybody here because some of these legacy members have been with me since I opened the doors, you know. And again, they're here because they love the community and they love that accountability aspect of it. And so going into that second point is consistency over perfection. I'm going to repeat that, consistency over perfection. You know, to build keys, the keys to building habits of consistency is not perfection. It's not. If you're a mess one day, you have an off day, you get discouraged, get back into that routine. The next day is a reset. That's a beautiful thing. We all have a reset button. It's that next day or a reset button throughout the day. Like, heck yeah. I mean, I sometimes have to pause and walk away and go walk on my treadmill to get my mind, my thoughts reset. You know, for me, movement is my reset. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you want to try meditation. Maybe you want to try yoga. You know, again, or maybe you just need to take a breather away from that situation and walk away and gather your thoughts. So, you know, remember, you can always take a chance to reset yourself and get back in. Everybody has that capability. Set your environment up for success. Create a space for your workouts. These are at-home workout programs. Some people do go to the gym. Some people, like myself, I only go to the gym when I'm traveling. First and foremost, the closest gym to me is 45 minutes away that I would go to. And so with that being said, create a space that's yours, that's your workout area. Maybe it's in your basement, maybe it's in your garage, maybe it's part of your bedroom, off to the side. Create that little environment for yourself where you can stay motivated and be successful, wherever it is. Turn up your music, jam out to tunes. Really cool thing is Spotify created this list for me today, a country list, which, by the way, you guys can access all my Spotify tunes. I do have a Spotify account. Look up Farm Fit Mama and you guys can check out my media library for tunes to listen to what you work out. But, create that environment for yourself wherever it is. Lay your equipment out ahead of time. Look at your workouts ahead of time. Lay out your clothes. If you want to get into working out in the morning, if that's one of the habits that you want to get, set your clothes out the night before. If use your phone as your alarm clock, set your phone alarm and put it across the room. So you have to get out of bed to turn it off. Have a sharp off time. Like we have a plug-in in our house, which I got off of Amazon, by the way, if you guys want it, is it shuts off all our electronics in our house at 9:30. Everything shuts down. And there's no internet or anything. So, again, I'm setting myself up for success because I know I need sleep, and 9:30 is my shut off time where nothing's going to work and I need to get to bed. So, again, just like we do with our kids, for example, my kids are on a bedtime routine, set yourself up for success and set your environment up for success as well. Sticking to new habits onto existing ones. I want to go over this topic real fast. A great way to create new habits is to pair them with things you already do. I'm going to repeat that. A great way to create new habits is to pair them with things you already do. So, for example, drinking a glass of water right before you brush your teeth, or doing a quick warm-up every time you start your workout routine. Okay? So you're pairing a new habit with an existing habit. Another thing I do is I carry around a jug of water. Okay, but I also have a gallon jug, a simple gallon jug that I got that I bought from the grocery store. I'm talking the milk gallon jug. I keep that on my counter because I like lukewarm water. I'm a weird one, but I always pour from that. So, like, not only do I carry a cup, I don't know where it's at. I think it's in the other room, but it's 44 ounces. But I see my gallon jug every time I walk by the kitchen. So I'm like, oh, I need to fill my cup. So, again, I'm pairing a new habit with an existing habit of carrying my jug. Or, again, warm up before you work out. If you are not the person that typically warms up, now start to warm up with your existing workouts. Pairing a new habit with an existing one. We've already gone over tracking your progress. Reward yourself for milestones. Every part of a fitness journey is a chance to celebrate. So when you reach a new milestone for yourself, whether it's workouts for a week, hitting your nutrition goal, staying consistency, take the time to celebrate yourself. Reward yourself. And I highly recommend do not reward yourself with food. That is a mishap, because then you'll start to build an emotional attachment for food. And again, we're trying to break away from that. So, one of the things that I do for rewarding myself is maybe I'll buy a new pair of gym shoes if I hit a certain milestone. And the cool thing, again, in the app, it keeps track of your milestones. So it does celebrate. Like, for example, one of the milestones is if you complete 75 workouts or 100 workouts, it'll automatically tell you, which is really cool. By the way, I highly recommend you guys sharing that on social media. Milestones are huge. Don't be afraid to share on social media. And of course, we'd love it if you guys tag us, tag Farm Fit Training or Farm Fit Mama, because I would love to help celebrate your milestones as well. But, share that with your loved ones when you hit a milestone. If you're not so much a social media person. A lot of you share your workouts and your stories and stuff. Again, tag us. We'd love to celebrate with you guys and help highlight your celebrations and as you're going through this process with us. So, Celebrate the milestones, whatever it is, go get a pedicure, manicure, guys, go get new shirts, if you lost, we had a guy in here that was a triple XL and he went and got new wardrobe when he hit an XL, so again, celebrate your milestones as you go through them. Stay patient. Habits take time. I've already gone over this. I'm going to cough in a second. Let me get some water. Habits take time. Again, I've already gone over this. It takes 66 days to form a habit, not 21. So give yourself a chance to form new habits. It's going to take time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. You're not, by showing up for yourself for 2 weeks, you're not going to see progress. It's just like planting a crop. I'm going to relate this to agriculture because we can understand this lingo. When we plant our crops in the spring, they're not going to sprout up in the spring. We're not going to see what's happening underneath the soil. We're not going to see what's happening as they're growing their roots and all that process. We're going to be like, we're going to trust our machine and be like, the crops are in the ground. Now is the time for growth. And slowly over the year, this plant starts to pop up from the ground. It starts to grow. We start to see it. By harvest time, all of a sudden we see this amazing crop, hopefully amazing crop. I don't know about your guys' farm year, but hopefully an amazing crop that produces a high yield. But again, it takes time. You typically in our area, we're planting, in April, and we don't see our crop or harvest it until October. So think about that. It takes a crop all the way from April to October to grow. So does your body. So does your progress. It takes time. Stay patient. You're not going to, just because you showed up for yourself for a month, you're not going to necessarily see progress. You might see a little muscle, a little muscle definition. You might start to shred fat. You might notice that you're starting to see these new things show up for yourself, like, for example, more energy. Or maybe you're by hitting your gallon of water, you're starting to think clearer. Remember, dehydration can affect, even 1% dehydration affects your memory. So, you might notice internal changes for yourself, but again, outward changes take time. It takes time, consistency, showing up for yourself. The more you trust the process, the more it's going to happen to you. So don't give up on yourself. So don't give up on yourself if you're 2 weeks into this. That's why we have Legacy, for example, as a 6-month commitment, because we want you guys to really dive in. After 6 months, yes, you can jump out of it. But, again, honestly, you need to be consistent with something for over a year to really build those true habits. So think about that. Think about that. Think about the crop. A crop takes 8 months? I don't even know. I didn't do the math. But anyways, it takes time to see progress. It takes time to see those changes come out. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're going to start to see them quicker than you can imagine. And I've already gone over this as accountability is, lean on your community members, lean on your coaches, lean on creating those new habits for yourself. Sharing your journey more helps you stay on track, but also let people know where you're at. One of the things on social media is when you start to post about your fitness journey, sometimes you get hate because you're doing something that's out of the norm. That's normal. There's a lot of people in relationships that I no longer have because I'm doing something totally different. Sometimes those relationships stay, sometimes they don't. As you start to grow for yourself, sometimes those past relationships, and I'm talking about friends, don't necessarily stick because you're changing yourself for the better. And a lot of times people project their own insecurities onto you because they want to do what you're doing. So, when you share your journey and share your motivation, share your success, it definitely motivates them to want to be that best version of themselves because they can see that light, that shine, and that amazing aspect coming from you, talking about your fitness journey. I'm a fitness coach. I am a certified fitness coach. I launched this business back in 2021, and my husband is now finally starting to work out. Think about that. I've been in business for almost 5 years. So again, I didn't want to push him into it, but it takes time, which is great. I love it. And I'll just say couples shouldn't train each other. That's all I'm going to say there. But remember, building new habits isn't something you're going to do. Everything's going to be perfectly right off the gate. It's showing up for yourself every day, even those small stage changes, making steady progressive progress. Over time, these new habits are going to become second nature. They're going to form your foundation to long-term success. Okay. I'm going to skip down to here for a second. I want to talk about mindset for just a quick blurb, and then I'm going to open up for questions. But I'm also going to give you guys 3 tasks. So I actually did this. A lot of legacy members that did go through one-on-one coaching was able to go through something what we called assignments that we gave the first week. And I want to go over those because, again, this is a great refresher for you your new legacy members, and then you past legacy members. This is another great refresher for you. So I want to go over some mindset and motivational tips first. You know, motivation is plain and simple. You know, there's tons of strategies that I can go over to help you get started, but I'm going to actually hit one off the gate. And this is something that we've used in one-on-one coaching that I want to bring back into the legacy group because it's super powerful. And so what I'm talking about here is finding your fitness why statement. And a lot of you new legacy members have no clue what I'm talking about, but this is actually an assignment that I'm going to challenge you to do. And there's 2 reasons why, but I'll actually hit these in a second. So what is a fitness why? First and foremost, before we dive deep into what it is, I want you guys to really understand what a fitness why is. This is your motivation to keep going when times get tough. I'm going to repeat that. This is your motivation to keep going when times get tough. Again, us coaches go through tough times. We do. You know, for example, Coach Jamie just had a knee replacement. You know, that was super tough for her. She's a very, very active female, and it was very tough for her to give her body time to rest. I just went through a massive head cold last week. Kicked my butt. I'm still after it, still going through it. You know, that was not as long as Coach Jamie's, but you know, again, we go through tough times. We do. And a fitness why is part of the reason behind your goals. I'm going to repeat that. A fitness why is part of the reason behind your goals. It's what drives us and motivates us and pushes us to show up every single day, even on those tough days. Even on those tough days. So, how do you find your fitness why? I'm going to go over 3 ways to find it. Okay. First reason is, why do you want to achieve this goal? So let's say you wrote down a goal of you want to shred fat. You want to shred weight. Okay. Why do you want to achieve the goal? Why do you want to be able to shred fat? Maybe it's because you're uncomfortable in your own skin. Maybe because you notice your energy levels are low. Maybe you're the heaviest you've ever been in your life. You know, again, it can be superficial as well. Maybe you're uncomfortable in your own skin. Hey, I was that mom. I gained 60 pounds each pregnancy on a 5'1" frame. That's a lot of weight. You know, I've had 2 C-sections. I've been there. I've been super uncomfortable in my own skin to the point where it affected my relationship with my husband because I never wanted to get naked in front of him. I'm going to lay it out, you know, and it was just, it made me super insecure with myself. So whatever your goal is, write that down. Write what your goal is. Maybe you want to be a more active parent. Maybe you want to be able to play a bigger role on your farm. Maybe you want to be more comfortable in your own skin. Whatever that goal is, write it down. Write it down. Maybe you were told by the doctors that you had to lose weight. That could be a motivation as well. You know, maybe you were told that you needed to take a revamp on your health. You know, and then how will it impact your health? So the first question is, why do you want to achieve this goal? Second is, how will it impact your life by achieving this goal? Okay, how would it impact your life if you shred more weight? You know, how would it impact your life if you feel more confident in your skin? We all know the answer to that. You know, you're more active parent, you're better, you know, you're not afraid to rock the bikini in the summer, you have more energy, you know, again, there's tons and tons of reasons behind that. And then what would happen if I don't make that? So that's another thing you need to think about is what would it happen if I don't make that change? So again, those 3 questions you need to ask yourself when you're figuring out the why statement is, why do I want to achieve these goals? Why is it important to you? How will it impact my life? How will it impact your life? And what would happen if I don't make these changes? Now dig deep. These why statements are going to make you humble. They're going to bring out a lot of insecurities. They're going to bring out a lot of questions about yourself. Again, this is all part of the mindset, the mental health side of things. You know, they're going to bring out more emotions, and you can really attach it to your why statement. The more powerful this is, the more you'll be able to keep on track. You know, and writing it down, one of the things I do is I actually email my why statement to myself. I have a folder, a little private folder in my email. My email's super secure. I email my why statement every time I redo it. And I like to redo my why statement every 6 months, just so you guys know. And I'm about due to redo my why statement here this next couple months, because it's going to change. It's going to change as you go through this process. It's going to change as you go through this fitness journey. As you start to understand nutrition, it's going to change. You know, and your why statement, again, it's you visualizing not only where you want to go, but it's attaching that emotion side of things to it. It's more understanding what's going to keep you motivated when you don't have any motivation. Because motivation is going to go, it's going to come. Some days you're on cloud 10, you're super productive. Other days you're just struggling to even get to the gym, you know, and nothing's going right. So I really want you guys to revisit your why statements again. And I'm actually going to challenge past legacy members to do this as well. And I'm going to challenge you newbies to do this. I want you guys, if you're watching this recording later on down the road, I want you to share in the master group chat. If you're Legacy Gold and Platinum, share in the master group chat your why statement. I'm going to highly encourage you to do that, and we'll keep track for you. So I really would like you guys to share your why statement. Again, Legacy Silver, again, you guys can share it in the Blueprint group. Now remember, the reason why I'm asking you guys to share is because we cannot grow inside our comfort zone. We have to be willing to step outside of it. And when you're in a fitness journey, there's a lot of things that you're going to do that are outside your comfort zone. Maybe you've never picked up a weight in your life and you're still trying to figure out these movements, and you're like, what the heck is a deadlift? What the heck is a pistol squat? You know, what the heck is a wall sit? You know, whatever it is. And so again, there's a lot of times where there's opportunity for growth, even in business. As we, you know, especially in agriculture, technically we're all entrepreneurs. My husband is an entrepreneur. He's a 5th generation farmer. You know, again, there's always going to be opportunities where we're going to have to step outside our comfort zone, and that's an opportunity for growth. And so I'm going to encourage you guys all to revisit your why statement and share it again. And you know, and again, I would love to share mine. I really want you guys to share yours as well. And so when I revisit mine, I'll definitely share mine as well. I'll share it in the master group chat so you guys can see it. So last, I got 10 minutes here. I'm going to really hit macronutrients because I want to talk about nutrition. Again, if you're just joining us, we're running this as more as a kickoff meeting to Legacy membership. I highly encourage you, if you just popped in, to watch the recording, because I'm going to go over a ton of this. Remember, all these monthly calls with me are recorded. You guys all have access to it to watch at any point. I highly encourage you to go back and watch it because there's tons of new stuff I covered about the app as well. Now, macronutrients. Let's dive into macros. First and foremost, macronutrients is a nutrition theory. It is not a diet. I'm going to say that again. Macronutrients is a nutrition theory. It is not a diet. So understanding macros is one of the most important steps into filling your body properly. It's also to achieving the results you're looking for. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for fat loss, muscle gaining, or improving your overall health. Macronutrients is definitely the key to changing that progress. Again, it's not a diet. It's a nutrition theory. You know, and so macros really refers to the 3 primary nutrients that we're focusing on, which is protein, carbs, and fats. Okay. So I'm going to break them down more into understanding so you guys can really understand what each and how they play a critical role in your body. So protein is the building block for muscle repair and growth. Protein is essential for building and repairing your tissues, especially muscle. This is made up of amino acids, which are often referred to your building blocks. Okay, your building blocks in your body. So when you exercise, you create these macro tears in your body. So this is your muscle. This is your muscle. This is my analogy of your muscle. So when you lift weight, you create these macro tears in your muscle. Okay, and that's everybody does it. Doesn't matter if you're doing cardio, everything. You create these macro tears. And so if we don't make sure we're taking in enough protein, we're not able to build and repair and make them stronger. Because our goal is to make them stronger. And so, when you create these tiny tears in your muscle fibers, protein helps rebuild that and makes it stronger. And over time, that's where that muscle definition starts to show in your arms, your legs, your booty, your leg, everywhere. And so again, we need to make sure that we're taking in enough protein. Now, everybody in Legacy, obviously, we educate on a high protein diet because there's tons and tons and tons of education of why protein is important. And myself and all three of us coaches are on a high protein diet as well. Now, carbohydrates. Carbs get such a bad stink. You always hear about those carnivore diets or keto, for example, that talk about low carbs. Carbs have its place. Carbs are your primary or preferred source of energy first and foremost. So especially on high intensity days or workouts, we need to make sure we're taking in enough carbs because that's what our body uses as energy. And it also helps with brain function as well. And so when you eat carbs, your body converts it into something called glucose, which is known as sugar. Okay. And then it immediately stores the energy into glycogen, and that's where your muscles use it, and also your liver uses it for later uses. Now, I want you to think of this. I'm going to give you guys an analogy here. So when you put gas, let's say you drive a vehicle that takes gas. When you put gas in your car, that's what makes your car run. Well, that's what carbs are. Carbs are your gas in your car. When you fill your car with diesel, when it's a gasoline car, it's going to run sluggish, probably break down, and you're going to have a shit ton of problems there. But when you fill your car up with the right gasoline, it runs perfect. There's no issues. It runs smooth. And so that's what carbs are. Carbs are your gasoline in your vehicle. They're your gasoline in your body. We all need carbs. Yes, everybody's carbs are going to be a lot different based on where you're at and your fitness journey. Again, your body's unique. But that's why those quick fix diets out there only work short time, is because they don't take in enough carbs to fuel their body correctly. So carbs do have a place in your nutrition profile. That's why they're part of macronutrients. And the last thing I want to talk about real fast is fats. I got 5 minutes here. Fats are critical for hormone balance and overall health. Ladies, if you have a bunch of hormone problems, it could be because you're not taking in enough unsaturated fats. Again, one of the biggest myths out there on social media is if you eat fat, you put on fat. That is a big myth buster. Yes, there's different types of carbs, and there's different types of fats. Like for example, simple carbohydrates are complex. We want to take in complex. That's that good source of gasoline in our vehicles. But also with fats, there's saturated fats, there's unsaturated fats, which is good fats, and there's trans fats. So with fats, fats are essential for hormone production, brain function, absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. And what I'm talking about here is A, D, E, and K. They also provide us with concentrated energy source, but providing us with yes, they are double the amount of calories compared to protein and carbs. Protein and carbs are 4 grams per calorie, where fats are 9. So a lot of people are scared of fats, but again, fats have its place in our body. So if you have a lot of hormone problems, it might not be, it definitely could be that you're not taking in enough unsaturated fats in your nutrition as well. And so the biggest thing I want you guys to understand when it comes to macros and tracking your macros is you're not just focusing on how much you eat. Yes, you're still paying attention to calories. So any coach out there tells you that macronutrients, you're not paying attention to calories, you are. But we're focusing on the nutritional value of foods and how they fuel our bodies. So what we're doing is we're focusing on fueling our body for long-term success. And that's why macronutrients is a nutrition theory, not a diet. And it's all about how you're fueling your body based on the type of foods that you're eating to help it function for everyday success. And again, that number is unique. So if you're legacy gold or platinum, reach out to us if you think you need an adjustment, because you have that capability where we'll adjust your macros and you'll be customized based on your goals and needs and where you're at. If you're legacy silver, we have that free macro calculator you can use off of our website. That will give you a great ball range on where you need to be for your macros, and that will help you. And so as I wrap this up, there's a ton of information. Again, if you're just joining us, there's tons of information that I just covered on this Kickoff meeting. Highly recommend you guys all going back and watching it. If you've been here since the beginning of this Kickoff meeting, I'm going to actually give you 3 assignments. And these assignments are something that I highly encourage every single one of you. It doesn't matter if you're a past legacy member or if you're just coming and joining us for the legacy membership for the first time. These are the assignments that will help organizing you guys a task to get started really easily. And so the first assignment is, I want to challenge you guys to create 3 breakfast meals that are plus or minus 5% of your goal macro percentages. And so what I mean here is when you get your macros, when you get your customized macros in the app, we give you something called goal macro percentages, and those can be 40, 30, 30, or they can be 35, 35, 30. I think that's 100, yes. So whatever those are, your goal, if you focus on hitting plus or minus 5% of your goal macro percentages, you will hit your overall macros at the end of the day. So don't overcomplicate this. If you need ideas on where to get recipes for breakfast, if you're someone that doesn't typically eat breakfast, guess what? If you're a Legacy Platinum member, you have this beautiful thing where there's a recipe library already in the app. You can have access to recipes like, I made this today. This is one of my go-to favorite shakes that I love to make. Again, it's already in the app. You have access to. You can actually swap it if you want. Let's say you don't like that. Guess what? You could swap it to something else. So if you're a Legacy Platinum member, you have access to this. I'm just going to tell you, Legacy Gold and Silver, you do not have access to recipes in the app. Now, also with Legacy Gold and Platinum, you guys have access to something called a recipe library. We're going to go over a little bit. If you have to go, jump off. Again, this is recorded. It will be up on the website. But Tracy, if you could real fast go share your screen and go over to the recipes off of the website real fast for me, and then I'll pop it back in.
Yeah, so as Farm Fit Training Legacy members, you all have access to the recipe library on the website. And so, hang on. Oh, okay, hold on. It's not letting me for some reason.
Here, I can.
Okay, can you see?
Yep.
Okay, so I've already logged into the website. So there's this little icon up here that's a person. You'll simply log in with your username and password. It might be different than the Trainerize or the FFT app login and password. But once you get logged in, you have all these options here. So this is where Amanda's past calls will be at, and then there's this recipe library. So this is what the home screen looks like when you first get in here, but there are a lot of really cool user-friendly features. For example, yesterday I needed a recipe I could make in a crock pot. And so you can simply search by crockpot and it pulls up all the recipes that you can make in a crockpot. You can do the same thing with like air fryer, ingredients, all the things like that. The cool thing is these are recipes that Farm Fit training coaches have put together recipes that we like. We have had, there's a sourdough starter kit on here, all kinds of things. So definitely check this out. I honestly created my whole menu for the week from recipes in here. So check this out.
Yes. And so if you need breakfast, thank you for sharing that. If you need ideals for breakfast recipe, again, Legacy Gold and Platinum, you guys have access to the recipe library off of farmfitmama.com. You guys can access that and get some recipe ideals. Now, Legacy Platinum, again, you have ideals in the app that are already given to you. You can also access that as well. And so my challenge to you, is to create 3 breakfast meals that fit your goal macro percentages, but don't overcomplicate this, but also pick out dinners. So I'm going to challenge each of you to pick out your dinners of the week. That's something that I do every Sunday is I pick out my dinners Monday through Friday for the week. So I know what I need ahead of time, and then I can get my grocery list put together. Now, if you pick out the meals in the app, you do have the capability of creating a grocery list inside the app, which is super cool. So if you pick out certain meals within the app, and I'm talking to Legacy Platinum here, you guys can actually create a grocery list inside the app. Now, if you pick the meals off of farmfitmama.com, we don't have the capability of creating a grocery list, but again, you can write it down and if you need to get some meals and supplies. So my first assignment is to create 3 breakfast items that are plus or minus 5% of your goal macro percentages. My second assignment to you guys is to pick out dinners for the week, get in the habit of doing it every Sunday. And then my third assignment to you all is that why statement. I want to challenge you all to create your why statement. Again, this is your deepest, darkest emotions that you have about yourself. You new Legacy members, definitely make sure you guys create that. This is super powerful. You past Legacy members, I'm going to encourage you to revisit your past why statements and share it in the group chat. And, on the biggest thing on this kickoff meeting is this is a refresher course for you past Legacy members, but for your new Legacy members, I really want you to understand what you're started here. We're all about educating the science of why behind everything we do here. And I really want you guys to create that lifelong habits for yourself where you're not on a yo-yo hamster wheel anymore. We're creating these habits that are going to stick and that you can continue to build upon. And remember, it's all about consistency. It's not going to be perfect every single time. There's going to be times where it's challenging, but if you guys dive into this pod call or this farmcast, I'm calling them farmcasts. If you dive into this farmcast and really dive into all the tools and tips and tricks that we give you guys can be super successful, and this can be something that you can keep up and adapt into your everyday life. So I want to say thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys all have a fantastic Tuesday. I will see you guys next month and crush it. And if you guys have any questions, Legacy Gold and Platinum, reach out in the master group chat. Legacy Silver, don't hesitate to ask us questions in the Blueprint group. Again, all 3 of us coaches monitor that account as well. Hope everybody has a fantastic day. Bye, everyone.